Okay, great. All right. How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Got Michigan and Michigan State, huh?
Good guys in
What a
bad.
rivalry, that's right.
Well, hey, you're a Spartan, so you got to be defending Michigan State. Or at least you worked there long enough to call yourself that.
I did.
All right.
I call it my alma mater. My family kills me for that. I never got 1 credit hour for that. So.
This is a place you've played a lot of times. Very familiar with playing up there. What is that environment like for a guy that's going in there for the first time? And is that something you talk about?
I'm not going to make a big deal out of. I mean, it's an intense environment. Their fans are really, they provide great support for them. So it's like a lot of places in this league. It's tough to go in there and if you want to try to use the cadence, it's not necessarily easy. They're going to make it loud and challenging. So it's a great atmosphere for football. They do a good job of being loud, especially when you're on offense or you're in a kicking play. And we got to be able to deal with the challenges that provides us. And thought we did a decent job last week, and it's going to be mandatory that we do it again this week.
Any update on Jakobi?
Nothing right now. Still going through the protocol, and that's obviously going to be they'll determine the pace that goes through.
Still a chance he can play on.
I doubt that. Yeah.
Did you get what you wanted out of this week here? Are you happy with the production and all of the ancillary?
Yeah, we've had a few good days of practice and looking forward to another one today. And I think that, just the time change when you come and you have an opportunity to acclimate your body to Eastern time zone, you feel like, when you get up today, you feel like it's 8 a.m. for the squad meeting, Wednesday morning, it probably felt a little bit more like 5 a.m., and so that was the purpose. That was one of the purposes that we wanted to get out of this week. And I think our guys have, 4 or 5 days in this time zone, you start to acclimate, and we got another couple of days for the game. So it's been a good week of work. The facility, everybody here has been incredible. Our support staff did a great job of putting this all together, and the video department, all the rest of that stuff. We've basically been operating like we're at home, and so that's what we wanted it to feel like. And hopefully we'll, like I said, we'll be prepared and ready to go.
When you're game planning, Josh, you're a guy that likes to mitigate risk, but you also have to be a person that attacks. How difficult is that when you're putting a game plan together?
You got to try to do both. You know what I mean? You can't be in a race and never put your foot on the gas, just because you don't want to wreck. So there's a balance, look, I don't think I've ever called a perfect game or ever set up a perfect game plan. And you want to try to strike that perfect balance of we're being aggressive, but we're also being smart and taking away some of the things that maybe they do best or they do to disrupt you. You just try to find that if you can during the course of the week, find that perfect balance as best you can. You have a lot of confidence in everything we can do. It's just a matter of how the game's going to flow and what you ultimately choose to do. But at the end of the day, no matter what play we call, execution is going to be the reason it works. The players on the field are going to be the reason it goes. So, we'll try to put them in good situations and hopefully eliminate some of those risks that you're talking about at the same time.
If there is no Jakobi, as it sounds like you're kind of indicating there, how much of an opportunity does that give the other receivers and even Austin and Michael as well to kind
Everybody.
of
I mean, Jakobi's a really good football player, and so if he's not available, then everybody has to step up, and they'll give themselves great opportunities, to produce, and that's a good thing for them, you know what I mean? And that's what the National Football League's about. We won't have any more weeks where we don't have somebody that's banged up, so this is, the season has begun, and the injuries will happen as nature takes its course, and other people have opportunities here to go out there and produce, and that's what we expect them to do. We're excited for those opportunities for those guys.
Even without Von Miller, what kind of challenges does their D-line present you?
Yeah, they're significant. They've invested a lot of draft picks and or resources into the defensive line. They got a really good front. They're really well coached. This is, one of the finest coaching staffs in the entire National Football League. They use their personnel very wisely. They rotate a lot of players in there, so you're rarely going to see them where they're gassed because they got enough guys, enough depth in there, and they're all productive. So, they have pass rushers inside, pass rushers on the edge. They do a lot of good things in a running game too. So their defensive front is formidable. Their linebacking core has always been very good. Matt Milano is one of the best players in the National Football League, in my opinion, at any position. So blocking him, handling him in the running game, dealing with him in the pass game. He's such a great cover player, got great instincts. I mean, you couple that with the play of their safeties and corners. Taron Johnson's one of the best nickels in the game for sure. And it's a big challenge. The defense is good.
How big this week is Michael, Hoop, and Thayer, because you're going to be attacking an edge on a defense that's aggressive?
Yeah. They're gonna have to. They mix up their alignments with their defensive ends. They'll be head up on us sometimes. They'll be outside edge, outside shade. They do a pretty good job of being physical. They try to use their hands really well. They're long. They have defensive ends that are long. We got to do a good job of using our hands. So this will be like I said, every element of their defense presents challenges. And the thing that you never see them make a mistake. So it's always, they're doing the right thing. It's just, you're going to have to out-execute them and outplay them. And that's why they're so good. They don't really give you anything easy.
When you've been around a lot of players, obviously, over the years. There's little things that drive guys sometimes, and a lot of guys talk about players drafted in front of them or the same position kind of thing. Michael and Dalton were very tied. Like, is that something that you see players kind of driven by, and is that a good thing when players have those little motivations?
I mean, anything that if they use it personally, that's for each man to decide what's going to help them get up in the morning and go to work and have a great work day. I don't spend a lot of time doing that. I think those types of things are very independent decisions, from one another. But we're happy we have Michael. I'm sure they're happy they have Dalton. I mean, they're both good players, and I think we're both hoping that they're going to have good long careers. So, each player's different.
You guys good? All right.
Good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you guys being.